Hello and welcome to my video, lesson 6.7 on putting it all together. Find the three equation forms for the graphs below. So we're going to start with the blue one, and what we're going to do is we're going to look for an equation, any one of the three different equations that describes this graph. Now, since we have 2 points, the best bet is simply to find the slope by finding the 2 points. So this is going to be -6, 0 and 0, 4. Okay, so if we look at it carefully, we can hopefully see that it has a rise of 2, run of 3, rise of 2, run of 3. Okay, so hopefully you can see that it has a rise of 2, a run of 3. So the slope is 2 over 3. Then what we're going to do is we're going to use one of the points. Now I'm just going to choose to use this one. And the reason why I'm going to use that one is because now we can have slope-intercept form. So we can use y equals 2 over 3, and then x, and then plus 4. Okay, so this is one form of the equation. So now if we want to put this in slope point form, we would do y, and we can choose to use this point. So this is -3, 2. So y minus 2 equals 2 over 3 x minus a negative, so it's plus 3. Okay, and then finding it in general form, our best bet is to rearrange this. So we get 2 over 3x minus y plus 4 equals 0. Then we're going to switch it one more time by multiplying the whole thing by 3. So we're going to have 2x minus 3y plus 12 equals 0. So those are our three different terms. So yeah, just so we can see them, those are three different forms. So those are 2, and there's our third form. Okay, what about for the red equation? So it's the same process, but in this equation it's going to be a little bit more complicated because we don't hit a specific location here on the y-axis. So let's just simply use slope point form. So this is going to be -1, -2, and this point is going to be -4, 0. So hopefully, just like before, you can kind of see that we have a rise of -2 and a run of 3. So our slope is -2 over 3. And if we use the point -1 over -2, then we'll have y plus 2 equals -2 over 3 x plus 1. Okay, now this is going to be one of our three equations, but now we can rearrange this to solve for y. So if we multiply that in, it'll be -2 over 3 x minus 2 over 3. Then we can do y equals -2 over 3 x minus 2 over 3 minus 2. Then we can multiply the entire thing. Oh no, we don't have to do that, actually, my bad. We'll have to do it for the other step, but not for this one. So this is going to be y equals -2 over 3x, and then minus 8 over 3. Okay, so this is our y-intercept slope form. So intercept slope form. Okay, now we can switch this to general form. So we're going to do that by moving it this way, where the y goes over. Actually, let's move everything else over instead. So it's 2 over 3x plus y plus 8 over 3 excuse me, equals 0. Now we're going to multiply the entire thing by 3. So we're going to have 2x plus 3y plus 8 equals 0. And that is our general form and our last of the 3 forms. Alright, so we should be able to go from the graph to any one of the 3 different forms with a little bit of work. Here are 3 more types of questions that you could possibly see. There's an infinite number of different ways of wording this, but here are some of the different ways you could see this question. Find the 3 equation forms for the situations below. So we're going to find each of the different forms here based off of these. So a line with a slope that is perpendicular to that and a point of that. Well, if it's perpendicular to this, then we know it's a negative reciprocal, so it's negative 4 over 3. And we have that point, so now we can write it in slope point form. So y minus 4 equals negative 4 over 3 x plus 2. Now we can move the 4 over. So this is one of our 3 forms, just by the way. This is slope point form. Now we can move the 4 over, so y is by itself. So negative 4 over 3, x plus 2, plus 4 at the end. So then we'll get y equals negative 4 over 3x minus 8 over 3 plus 4. Oh, this is very similar to the last one. Not quite the same, but similar. And then we're going to put the 4 in with the common denominator of 3. So it's going to be plus 4 over 3. Okay, so that would be our y-intercept slope form. Okay, now what we can do is shift this again and try to get it equal 0. So actually let's shift it over the other way. So 4 over 3x plus y minus 4 over 3 equals 0. Okay, now we're going to multiply the entire thing by 3. To get rid of the fraction, we need to have a positive in front of the x, and we need to have no fractions. So we're getting rid of the fraction. We get 4x plus 3y minus 4 equals 0. And that is our third and final form. All right, let's try the next one here, a line that goes through the points that and that. So now we have 2 points, but we don't have the slope. So our best bet is to find the slope using slope point form, which is, using the slope formula, which is like this. So we're going to start with negative 2 minus 5 over 4 minus negative 3. So we're going to have negative 7 on top, and we're going to have 7 underneath. So we're going to have negative 1 as our slope. Okay, so that's our slope. Okay, now we can use that slope and one of these points to get our slope point form. So plus 2, let's do it that way, and then equals negative, and then we'll put it x minus 4. Okay, this is one possible slope point form. There are more than one answer, but that's what we have. Then we're going to rearrange this to solve for y. So we're going to move the plus 2 over to make it a negative 2. Okay, so then when we put the negative inside the brackets, we're going to get negative x plus 4 minus 2, and we're left with y equals negative x plus 2. Okay, now we're going to change this to general form. So we're going to move the everything over to the left-hand side. So it's going to be x plus y minus 2 equals 0. And actually, we're done already. That was a pretty easy one. Okay, and our last question for this video, a line that is parallel to this. Actually, before we do that, let's make it nice and mathematically pretty. So a line that is parallel to that has a y-intercept of 12. Okay, so come up with all three equations. Well, first what we're going to have to do is find what the slope of this first one is. So kind of the best way of doing that is simply to move it to y equals mx plus b form, slope-intercept form. So this is going to be 4, actually I'm going to use a different color now, 4y equals minus 2x plus 16. So we've just moved the 2x and the 16 over. Okay, now we divide by 4 everywhere, so it's going to be negative 1 over 2x plus 4. Okay, now that we have that, we know that the slope is negative 1 over 2. So that means the slope is going to be negative 1 over 2 because it's parallel. They are the same. Okay, so we know that is the slope. Okay, and we know the y-intercept is this. So y equals mx plus b, which is 12. Okay, this is our first equation. So now we can rearrange this to solve for the, actually we won't be able to get the slope point form here, but we can get the general form. So we're going to rearrange this and we're going to get 1/2 x plus y minus 12 equals 0. Then we're going to multiply everything by 2. And when you do that, we're left with x plus 2y minus 24 equals 0. And that is our second equation. And unfortunately, we can't really find any other equation. I guess we could just find some random point. It won't normally be asked like this, but let's do it anyway. Let's just find a random point that would work. So if the slope is negative 1/2, and we know that the y-intercept is 12, we know that one of the points is 0, 12. Well, all we have to do is make it rise by negative 1 and run by 2. So if we add those together, we get 2, 11. So this could be another point. So if we use that point over here, we go y minus 11 equals negative 1/2 x minus 2. And that could be a point. Alright, so I hope that this video helped you better understand how to use all of the different forms and how to switch between them, and how we could possibly mix and match parallel, perpendicular, and all the different forms together. Hope this video helped, and good luck.